Hey, shalom, yo. Shalom, shalom. Give me just a minute. We're gonna wait for some people to get up in here. Yeah, we're gonna talk about it. Hey, this is not a flat earth conversation today, brother. Maybe we could talk about it afterwards, but y'all crazy. Come in here off topic, off rip, right? Shalom, everybody. We're gonna wait for Brother Judah to get in here. Gonna wait for a couple people to pull up. Y'all hit the like button so people can see the video. I want people to see this. Hit the like button because you know how Google algorithms work. They don't show videos unless y'all like them unless enough people like them. That's when they gonna start to send out the notifications. So y'all like the video so that we could go ahead and get started. Baba Kasha. Okay. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, y'all like the video so we could get people to come up in here. Hold up, Judah. Y'all hold on. While y'all like the video and we waiting on some people, let me get something to drink right quick so I don't die out here. Give me 2 seconds. Judah, say what's up to the people.
Hey, shalom, shalom. How y'all doing? Make sure you hit that like button. I'm gonna go do the same thing. So the Jonathan, shalom. Zion 12 forever, shalom. Cruz Collins, shalom. Hershey Fisher, shalom. Little Malachi, shalom. Mayakaya, shalom. MK, shalom. Shalom.
Shalom, shalom. I hit the like button when you come on in here so we can get this video started. Right here, y'all. Let me get situated. Oh, I need my phone charger. Get my phone charger. Shalom, Israel. Let me get my charger. We're gonna start. Hit the like button. When I get back, we're gonna start.
Who else I missed? Isaiah Shalom. HY Philly Shalom. Suzanne Shalom. Elijah Shalom. Anonymous Shalom. S. Gapon. I guess that's your name. Shalom. What else we got on here? Thomas Smith Shalom. Shalom. I think I got everybody. Jason Shalom. Benaiah. Soldier Benaiah. Shalom. Elijah Shalom. Line 144 Shalom. King Queso Shalom. Queso Shalom. Daniel Leonard Shalom. Yeah, Shalom.
Okay. Salakia Akiam. So, Locs. Obviously, I got Locs, so you know what our answer to this one is, right? Not going to be too difficult to figure that one out. But why? Why do we say it and so many people are saying opposite right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
We gonna get into it. All the way into it. By the end of the video, we're gonna prove emphatically that Locs are in fact lawful. They are in fact a custom that Israelites have been keeping since we've been Israelites. And before we were Israelites. By name, that is. And I'm going to prove that these cornrows people say we only allowed to wear were worn by people as early as the Egyptians and the original Egyptians who are the Nubians, aka Ethiopians, right? Same as your afro, which you think only comes for the Negro, right? But then again, Esau has been calling us Ethiopians since they had a language, right? I brought that out a couple weeks ago. So we're gonna get into it, all the way into it. Hold up. Let this stay right quick. Okay. Alright, let's go. So, Judah, give me number 6 and 5, but don't bring it out yet. We're gonna put it on here too. Let me make sure.
You said 6 and 5, right?
Yeah, 6 and 5. Beautiful. Okay. We in business. We in the money. Alright, let's pull up this blue letter Bible and get the game going. Alright. Brett, come shut the door. Hold on, yeah. Alright. Okay, hold on a second. This ain't what y'all supposed to be looking at. Skip numbers. We're gonna bring this out later. Alright. Okay, so we're not gonna bring this out yet. Before we bring this out, I got a question for all the lock haters. Right? For all the lockhead haters out there. What law in the Bible is it that says thou shalt not wear locks?
Good question.
What law in the Bible, New Testament, Old Testament, whatever, says thou shalt not wear locks?
Mm-hmm.
That's the first thing I'm gonna say. I could leave it there because y'all not gonna have a law. This is the type of question we ask to the Christians when we say, show us a Bible scripture that says God love everybody, right? We asking you the scripture. We asking you that question because we know you're not gonna find an answer to it. There is no law in the Bible that says thou shalt not wear locks, because the Most High wouldn't say that, right? It's a hairstyle. Most High don't care how you wear your hair, as long as it don't got blonde hair in it and you haven't marred the edges of your or the corners of your head, your hairline or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You haven't purposely made baldness upon your head. Like that's what it is. So, but since we got to prove all things, we're going to go ahead and prove that the Nazarite vow was actually talking about these type of locks and not whatever y'all trying to say a braid is as far as a lock is concerned. We're also going to prove that a braid and a lock are two different things, and that dissecting it through the Blue Letter Bible in the Hebrew, we're going to find out that the lock they were talking about for the Nazarite vow and this consecration of the hair for the priests or the Nazarites, right? The people who would take this Nazarite vow would be uh well, it would be a law that would involve them having to not lose any hair, and we're going to prove with proof that you can't not lose your hair with braids or an afro. We're going to get into it, right? So, Judah, brother Judah, give me Numbers chapter 6 and verse 5.
Come. This is the book of Numbers, chapter 6,
Let's
verse
see
5.
if we can make it nice and big for everybody. Well, let me, yeah, they ain't got to see me. You think this is big enough or shit? I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger.
Yeah, it's big enough from over here.
Let's make it just, no, that's too, y'all gonna have to deal with that. Okay, go ahead.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 6, verse 5. All the days of the vow of his separation, there shall no razor come upon his head,
Right?
until the days be fulfilled in which he separated himself unto the Lord.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
He shall be holy, and he shall let the locks of his head grow.
Right. Come on,
The
keep
hair
going.
of his head grow. Salaki. All the days that he separated himself unto the Lord, he shall come at no dead body.
Right. Keep going. We're gonna read
He
all the
shall
way to
not
8. Just read it smooth to 8. Don't stop.
come. He shall not make himself unclean for his father, or for his mother, or for his brother, or for his sister when they die, because the consecration of Yahweh is upon his head. All the days of his separation, he is holy unto the Lord.
Mm-hmm. All right. So all the days of his separation, he is holy unto the Lord. Notice in verse 7 it says there's a consecration, right? First, we should probably find out what consecration means. So let's find out what consecration means. Hold on, just a second. Because what has to be understood here is that brothers are saying, um, brothers are saying that you can't have locks because one, they say that it's a foreign custom, which we're going to prove is false. And that if that's the case, if one foreign nation wears them, i.e., the Elamites, or one foreign nation wears them, i.e., I don't know, Vikings, or one foreign nation wears them, i.e., Africans. Same thing could be said for afros, right? Because there's plenty of Egyptians that have afros and wear them to this day. There's plenty of Ethiopians and Eritreans and Somalians and and Libyans, Kenyans. You know, I could go all day. People from Zimbabwe that ain't part of the Limba tribe. All these people, Akan people that ain't Israelites, right? All these people got afros. They were cornrows. They were braids. But y'all aren't saying that they're their customs. And a lot of these people were around before we were called Israel. So, like I said, if that's the case, or if that's the argument you want to use, we can go there. But it's not a very telling argument. But nevertheless, locks, right? The locks here in this Nazarite vow. What type of locks are they talking about? But first, I want to show you guys this word consecration. Uh, bu- 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 bu-
And I got it in the Bible dictionary if you need it.
Hold on. Yeah, in fact, just do that. Read it in the Bible dictionary. So I ain't got to because this junk is not acting. Read that.
This is the word consecration out of the Zonovan Compact Bible Dictionary. And the definition of consecration is any act by a person or thing dedicated to the service and worship of Yahweh, like Levites.
Okay. Now, reading verse 7, it says, the end, well, I'm going to read the whole thing. It says, he shall not make himself unclean for his father, for his mother, for his brother, for his sister when they die, because the consecration of the Most High God is upon his head. So his consecration, the consecration for these Nazarites, right? Once you take this vow, is on your head. Now, reading verse 5, can you get verse 5 for me, please, Out? Right quick. And let me pull this back up so y'all can see what we're about to show you. Because it's been brothers that have broken this down before, but they didn't break it down in detail. And I think they did that for a reason. Because when you don't break it down in detail, it makes it seem like Locs are illegal. But when you break it down in detail, you find out they were actually talking about what you guys call dreadlocks, right? So we're going to break it down in detail. Go ahead and read 6 and 5. Go ahead.
Come. All the days of the
like button. Y'all hit the like button so people can see this, man. Because I want people to see this video. We got 69 people in here, 43 likes. We need more likes for them to send them notifications out. I still ain't got a notification on my phone yet. That means y'all ain't liking the video. So like the video. All right, go ahead.
Come. Number 6, verse 5. All the day of the vow of his separation, there shall no razor come upon his head.
All right, so no razor is going to come upon your head, right? Go ahead.
Until the days be fulfilled, in which he separated himself unto the Lord.
Until the days be fulfilled on which he separated himself to the Lord. Why? Because the consecration is upon his head. So the separation, or the showing of his separation, right? The proof of his dedication and separation to the Most High is going to be physically seen upon what's on their head. Go ahead.
He shall be holy, and he shall let the locks of his hair of his head grow.
Right. Okay. So he's going to let the locks of the hair of his head grow. The locks of the head of his hair grow. Right. So let's dissect it. Brothers will look up locks, but they won't look up grow. Right. Let's see. Let's look up. Let the locks. It says let the locks, but it's all talking about the word locks. Right. It's para. Okay. What does this word para mean? Well, it's para in the Yiddish. Right. Pera in the Yiddish. So it's hair, long hair of head, locks, right? Para, the hair as disheveled, locks. Okay, so locks as disheveled or hair as disheveled. So what does disheveled mean? Akim and Akwatyam. What does disheveled mean? Let's see what disheveled means.
I got it if you want it.
I want to read it out of this dictionary because every dictionary don't show it correctly. Hold on. My computer's crashing again. It do this at least once every time. Hold on, y'all. Let me see if it's gonna shut me out or if it's gonna let me do this mess.
Still up the other one? All right, so we're just gonna wait till he gets back up here. Antarctic 773, as Isaac means, Mar means to disfigure. All right. So you can't dig into your natural lining, right? So whatever your natural line is of your hair, you can't dig into that. You can't destroy that natural line of your hair, right? I don't want all your alls coming back. So y'all just get them likes up so Israel can see this video. Right now, we are at 23 likes. Right, here he goes. Here you go.
So lucky. See, told you. Hold on. Let me make sure everything's loaded and set back up. All right. Gotta have it once. Esau gotta try to shut me down at least one time, don't he?
Yeah.
All right. Hold up. 2 more pages gotta load. All right. Now let's get disheveled. That's where we were at, right? So,
Con.
what does disheveled mean? Para is locks of hair as disheveled, right? So here's what disheveled means, right? In a dictionary that hasn't been tainted by the white man. You understand me? Because they know that dreadlocks isn't something that can fit. It's easy for a white man to braid his hair. You see Vikings with braided hair. You seen Jack Nicholson with braided hair. You seen Jim Carrey with braided hair. You seen all type of crackers with braided hair. The dude that played Thor, you seen all of them with braided hair before. So they all can have braids. So if they could put the word disheveled in a certain dictionary and make it sound like braids, then it sound like braids. But when you find out the etymology and you look up in the etymon and you see that the etymology definition is different than the definition in your Webster's dictionary, then you start to realize that they don't know what they're doing, right? Or that they've done something for a reason. They've made it look the way it looks for a reason. So, hold on, bro. What's good with this?
Salakia. That's that dude. Just listen to the lesson. Don't jump to conclusions. Listen to the lesson. And
Who's talking? What's going on?
he said I have to cut my locks. And
No, we're not talking about cutting your locks, bro. I got locks in the video right now.
right.
My locks are still on my head. Calm down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, just relax.
Find out the conclusion of the matter. You understand? Answer
Right.
first, then rebuke. You feel?
That's
Learn
right.
first.
He
All
was scared
right.
he had to cut his locks.
Right? Check this out. The shovel. It says to loosen and let fall hair or clothing in disarray. So your hair is supposed to be in disarray, right? To disarrange the hair of clothing. Okay. So
Mhm.
this is what disheveled means. Now, this word disheveled, bro. My computer acting slow. Okay, but this word disheveled, right, is what's being spoken about in well, it's basically giving you the meaning of what they were trying to say for the locks in uh number 6, right? So it means it's hair locks as if they're disheveled. So let me pull this Strong's back up for y'all again. Okay, y'all can see that?
Come on.
Okay, so look. We got locks, right, as disheveled. Let's go back out. So that means that your hair is gonna grow disorderly, right? It's gonna be out of order, so to speak, in disarray. Now, just so you guys would know, if I was to take this crown off my head, my locks fall down over my head, my locks fall to the side, my locks fall to the back, that would be considered disarray. But we're gonna prove that later. So now let's go to grow, gadol, right? Check this out. It says we know what gadol means if you know the language. To grow, right? To become great or important, promote, make powerful, praise, magnify. These are all the different ways that gadol has been used, right? But in this particular sentence, it's used mainly to mean to grow, right? Or that's the definition, the one definition out of these many that it means here. It means to grow. So scrolling down, it says gadol, a primitive root properly to twist. Okay. So in this particular verse here, the primitive root of what they're trying to talk about is hair that's growing and it's twisted, right? You don't twist braids, you don't twist cornrows. That's first off, right? This is all in the same sentence, the same verse. You have para and gadol. And the primitive root of gadol here is to twist, right? So we're gonna move on. Let's get number 6 and read 13. Let me get out of this. Start here. You can read 13. All right.
Come.
All right. Yeah, get that.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 6, verse 13.
And read smooth to 18.
Come. And this is the law of the Nazarite. When the days of his separation are fulfilled, he shall be brought unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation.
So here's what happened. right? First, he's telling you at the beginning of this, he's explaining to you how a Nazarite is going to look, and now he's explaining to you what the reason for the Nazarite keeping this consecration of the hair is, right? And the conclusion is going to be in verse 18. So the reason why your hair has to be disheveled, right, is in verse 18. And keep in mind, it's a consecration to the Most High God. So it has to be basically perfect, right? You mess one thing up, right? You light the wrong incense, he'll burn you. So if you do this wrong, this is a burnt offering that's eventually going to be to the Lord. You're going to give your hair as a burnt offering. That's why we can't do the Nazarite vow right now, because we don't have a temple to give burnt offerings to the Most High. You understand what I'm saying? So this Nazarite vow was to be a burnt offering, has to be perfect. You feel me? So you can't mess up, right? All your hair has to be a consecration to the Most High God. Keep going. Keep that in mind. Go ahead.
And he shall offer his offering unto the Lord, one he lamb of the first year without blemish for a burnt offering, and one ewe lamb of the first year without blemish for a sin offering, and one ram without blemish for peace offerings, and a basket of unleavened bread, cakes of fine flour mingled with oil, and wafers of unleavened bread anointed with oil, and their meat offering and their drink offerings. And the priest shall bring them before the Lord, and shall offer his sin offering and his burnt offering.
Right? So the priest is going to offer these sin offerings and these burnt offerings. Go ahead.
Come. And he shall offer the ram for a sacrifice of peace offerings unto the Lord, with the basket of unleavened bread. The priest shall offer also his meat offering and his drink offering.
Right? Now read this. Go ahead.
Come. And the Nazarite shall shave the head of his separation at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation.
So now all your head that you kept all your hair on your head that you kept the entire time of this separation is all supposed to be shaved off at the same time. Wasn't supposed to lose none of it, because it got to be a perfect burnt offering to the Most High of your separation, right? Basically, the length of your separation is going to be shown by how long your hair was. You understand what I'm saying? Now you're taking all of this hair off and you're cutting it off at the door of the tabernacle to be put inside the basket to be a peace offering, burnt offering to the Most High. You understand? Keep going. All right?
And shall take the hair of the head of his separation and put it in the fire, which is under the sacrifice of the peace offerings.
Right. Go ahead.
And the priest shall take the sodden shoulder of the ram and one unleavened cake out of the basket and one unleavened wafer, and shall put them upon the hands of the Nazarite
Keep going.
after the hair of his separation is shaven.
Come on.
And the priest shall wave them for a wave offering before the Lord.
Right. So the priest is going to put everything that he just spoke about, including all of your shaven head from your time of separation, into this fire and wave it before the Lord as an offering, as a burnt offering before the Most High. Right. Go ahead.
This is holy for the priest, with the wave breast and heave shoulder. And after that, the Nazarite.
Actually, yeah. Go ahead. Keep going.
And after that, the Nazarite may drink wine.
Right, because it's like that's the conclusion of your Nazarite vow, right? You've done it. So here we go. Now, check this out. Ask me this. I want to ask you guys a question now, right? Straight up, man to man, woman to woman. I used to have an afro. I obviously had to have an afro to grow these, right? My intention was to give braids. You understand? So I know how it goes. When you comb your hair, have you ever combed your hair and not had hair come out your head? When I comb my beard, one or two strands might be in the comb, right? Because naturally we lose hair. You want proof? Let's show the proof before we get any further. Let's show the proof before we get any further. Can y'all see this out? Yeah, y'all see this. Okay, so look. It says, Simple Google search. Why does hair come out when I comb it? Right? It is normal to lose about 100 strands a day on one's comb or brush for you wave people in the sink or the pillow, right? This is a result of natural or normal hair growth cycle, of the normal hair growth cycle. Hair will grow for a few years, then rest for a few months, shed and regrow, right? The crackers call it telogy. So check this out, right? Check this out. If you've taken a Nazarite vow and you're supposed to consecrate your hair, the hair is the consecration. You understand? So you hair comes out of your head, right? Whether you want to believe it or not. If you've never had a piece of hair come out your comb, you're lying. I say that 100 strands might come out, but you're gonna comb your hair and you're gonna have a piece of hair on your comb, right? It's straight up facts. When you have an afro, the hair is going to be possibly on your pillow when you wake up in the morning.
Yep,
Because
right.
your hair falls out while you sleep, right? It's a natural hair cycle. But if you're having a consecration to the Most High, right, you're consecrating your hair through a Nazarite vow, the hair being the symbol of the separation or consecration that you've made to the Most High. How can you do it with braids? Because here's the way braids work, Yum and Akwat Yum. You have to braid your hair, and once it starts to look unneat, unbraid your hair, comb it and pick it out so that it's at its highest point so that you can have the girl or yourself re-braided again. So every time you get your hair rebraided, you're breaking the Nazarite vow because you pulling your hair out. You're no longer consecrated. You've messed up your consecration to the Most High. You've destroyed it because your hair is in your comb. You about to take that hair out, that consecration that's supposed to be a burnt offering to the Most High during your separation. Once you cut it off, you about to take it off and scoop it into your garbage can. It's no longer you being separated to the Most High. The Nazarite vow is something you can do, but you just be practicing in this time period because, like I said, it's a burnt offering at the end of it that you're supposed to do, and we don't have a temple to give burnt offerings to the Most High. So we're going to bring out later on. It's going to be something that we're going to do in the kingdom. So that proves, after we prove that the type of locks that they had, meaning like because you can't have cornrows in a Nazarite vow, this has to be the type of locks you have because I've never lost hair, not a day since I've had these. All my hair is right here. The rest of my hair, look, I'm supposed to get my hair retwisted. I purposely didn't do it so y'all could see, right? Even when it need regrowth, right? I didn't let my hair grow for 3 months so y'all can see how much new growth I got and that it'll never come out of my head. I could pull all day long and hair not gonna come out. You're not gonna see not one piece of hair fall onto my computer, bro. But you know what? If I had an afro and I did that, hair would be falling out like a mug. That's just the way it is. As soon as I pick my hair, all the hair gonna come out. All the dead all the dead hair follicles, because your hair naturally dies. That's how the hair cycle goes. So you're gonna have dead hair in there. That's why it's able to come out when you wash your hair, you take a shower, your hair come out, right? It ain't just after you get your hair cut. It's every time you get in the shower, you leave the shower with some hair in your sink or in your tub or whatever. When you have a lot of hair, because your hair naturally falls out. When you don't have a lot of hair, it does the same thing, but because your hair is short, you can't tell. But your hair is still doing the same thing. So if you were a Nazarite going through the Nazarite vow, you wouldn't be able to have cornrows because every time you had to get your cornrows redone, you breaking the vow. So the brother that said cornrows is what they had during the Nazarite vow didn't know what he was talking about because he wasn't realizing the fact that when he combed his hair come out, which breaks the consecration. You're no longer separated. You have destroyed what you were doing to separate from the Most High. It fell out. It's in your comb now. You understand what I'm saying? But there's more, right? Hold up now. Let me see. We got that. Let's go to Samson. Let's get Judges 16 and 13. Let's show Samson right quick, right? Because Samson had 7 braids. All right. Prove it. I'm going to prove he had 7 locks, just like the locks I have in my head, right? Because people like to use the words that we're going to go over in just a moment in this verse, right? to try and claim that the weaving over it and everything like that is when you weave braids together. But I'm gonna show you with pictures, right? I've had my hair done just like Samson had his hair done. You could make 7 locks out of these, right? There's scriptures where and the same type of locks that it's gonna say that Samson had is the same type of locks that Ezekiel is gonna have, right? That we're gonna go over later on. And Ezekiel had his hair pulled on, had one of his locks grabbed during a vision, right? How do you grab one lock the way that the lock is supposed to be grabbed if you got a cornrow stuck to your head? If you got cornrows, you can't grab it till at least get past your neck. That means you ain't grabbing nobody from the top of their head. You grab it from the back of the neck right here, no matter how long the hair gets. Because the cornrows get stuck to the back of the neck. You feel what I'm saying? So ain't no way you would have been able to pull somebody by the lock of their hair if it's a cornrow. The cornrow would have came out. It ain't strong enough to pull on. But if you got many locks woven together, you could do that, right? But we're gonna prove it. We gonna get into it. I'm not gonna run my mouth too much. I do that enough. Let's go out. Judges chapter, what I say, 16, 13?
Come on. It's the book of Numbers, chapter 16, verse 13.
Judges.
Salaki. This is the book of Judges, chapter 16 and 13.
There we go.
And Delilah said unto Samson, hitherto thou hast mocked me and told me lies. Tell me wherewith thou mightest be bound. And he said unto her, if thou weavest the 7 locks of my head with the web.
Right. He's telling her, Delilah, to weave his locks, right, into a web. If thou weavest the 7 locks of my head into a web. Now, let's see what we got here. Okay, let's break this down first before I show any of that stuff. Okay, so check this out. If thou weavest, right? What does weave mean? Sometimes you got to go into the book too, because we know that things were not translated completely correctly, right? So you got to go into the original language to find out exactly what was supposed to be meant here, right? So when he's asking her to weave it, right? What is he talking about? To weave, right? To braid, right? Okay. Samson's hair, right? So she's asking to weave, cloth, braid Samson's hair, right? He said, now weave my locks. Keep that in mind, because we're going to go over locks in a second too. So she's asking him to weave his hair, right? Which is plaited or weaver, right? So he's got plaited hair that he wants to weave or braid together. You understand what I'm saying? So that's sweet, right? All right. So let's go to, let's wait for this to pop up. All right. We got weave. Let's go to locks. The last locks was para. Now this is malaklafa or maklafa. So lucky. All right. So this is a braid or a lock in a plait of hair, right? So a braided lock in a plait of hair, right? Y'all seen me do this before. Maklafa, right? A ringlet of hair as gliding over each other, right? Or a lock. So the brothers take that and they'll say, it's a braid, because that's how you braid hair. You weave it over together like a ringlet, you know what I'm saying? And it locks together. But it says it's a lock, ringlet. It's a lock as if it's glided over each other, right? This is a braided lock, a plait of hair, right? So let's look at some pictures right quick, because brothers seem to think that the only way you can get a plait of hair braided is to have cornrows. This is extremely wrong, and we're going to prove it. And for it to be dissected the way that it is, mind you now, this has to be a braided weave that can go and last through the separation, through the consecration, the whole time period of your consecration, right? But some brothers, we ain't talking about 30 days. You feel me? Some brothers was Nazarites for a long time. You understand? So check this out. Let me get the pictures, photos, share. Bam. Can y'all see this?
Mm-hmm.
This is a brother with locks that have been woven together to the point where they look braided, right? This would be a ringlet of hair woven together. Locks. We got more. Let's see what else they got. Hold on. Hold up. Is this junk not gonna show up for me? Hold up, y'all. Let me close all of these. If I can't get it to pop up, I'm gonna have to pull it up on my computer. But I'm gonna show y'all these pictures one way or another. Y'all seen that pic? Was a picture of a brother with his hair uh, separated, right? Into woven, right? He's basically got all his locks put together, braided together, right? Woven together. You understand what I'm saying? So hopefully this will show. Let me pull this one up. See if I can show it. Okay, come on. All right. Look at this. This is exactly how Samson would have had his hair.
Come.
You could count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? So say he had just these 7 pieces around his head, and these 2 at the bottom, or these 4 at the bottom wasn't there, however many he got at the bottom. But he got just 7 around his head, going right across his head, just like cornrows, right? But this is called in the web. Let's get that right quick, right? Um, let's put this away for a second. Put this away for a second. Let's go back to the Strongs, to the blue letter, right? Let's get the web. Now we got weave, right? That's the arag to weave it over each other, right? We got the locks, which is the lock. It's like a braid woven together. So now this braid is woven together in the lock. We've seen how that's possible with real locks, the only locks you can have to last through the consecration, right? Now, here we go. In a web, what does the web mean? Not a spider's web, in the sense of spreading out, something expanding, right? As stretched out to receive the wolf, right? So a web unsurfacing stuff on loom. So it's talking about spreading out, as if to spread out the locks upon his head. How is this possible? Let's look at this picture again. Oh, it did me dirty. Gotta do that. So look, here it go. Right? We got another one for you. Oh, well, since we was talking about disheveled hair, right? Here are the locks disheveled. These are native, these are Gadites, right? With disheveled locks. You feel me? As if they're untouched, bed wrangled, like you just got up and let them go. They're not neat. They wasn't doing them over and over and over again, right? Here's another one. Here's another one. You see that? Disheveled, not done. This is Gadites. Here's another brother with the look just like a braid, right? Put together like a ringlet. You understand what I'm saying? And guess what? None of these hairs are going to fall out. He could leave it just like this until the time of his consecration. And when he makes it to the door, he cuts all of this off. Look at it. Look just like a braid, right? It's a ringlet woven over each other. But it's locks. A lock. Let me put that definition up one more time. Let me pull it up one more time for you guys. All right, let's get Loc. Lafar. Braid, lock, plait. A ringlet of hair as gliding over each other. Right? A ringlet of hair as gliding over each other. Here it is again. A ringlet of hair as gliding over each other. That's what this is, right? Waka Flocka got locks. He's a Gadite. His Aztec Asherite, right? I mean, Inca Asherite with the locks. Because again, this was a custom we had. I showed you guys natives with it to show you that even through Assyrian captivity, we kept the same custom. You understand? There I am with a ringlet of hair, right? Ringlet, rung together. I just decided to not have 7 of them. I wanted a bunch of them. So I only put 2 of my locks together on each side. But I could have done a bunch of them and had them together. I could have made 3 locks. I could have made 4 locks. I could have made 5 locks. I could have made 7. You understand what I'm saying? But either way, you can make them a ringlet of hair woven over each other, right? So don't tell me that this can only be done with a cornrow, because to do it with a cornrow, you have to pick your hair out, break the consecration, and lose hair in order just to braid it back up again. I could do this as many times as I want. I'm going to do that tomorrow. And not a hair is going to fall out my head. I'm not going to have to comb anything. I'm just going to tell my girl to weave it, just like Samson told Delilah, weave my 7 locks into a web. You understand what I'm saying? It's the same thing. I don't have to get them to pick it out. I don't got to go get the guy to line up my afro real nice so that all my braids is even. I ain't got to do none of that. I ain't got to pick my hair out, suffer through having to have my hair tangled and picking it out. Y'all say that we're not supposed to get locks because our locks are tangled, but y'all hair be tangled in the afro. That's why you have to go and get it picked out to get it braided again. Your hair gets tangled in the braids. That's why you got to get it picked out to get it rebraided again. But in the process of you getting it redone, you have to destroy the consecration. We don't have to do that. That's how we know this is the correct way it was supposed to be. Spread out, woven together, ringlet of hair in a web, spread out across the head. These are braids. Who's got them on? Are these Israelites? These ain't Israelites. So don't tell me that y'all got the Shaka Amos lock. Y'all thinking this is a lock, right? Because Shaka Amos got a lock. Let me show you what it's supposed to look like. You see the sis right here got it. She got braids, but we're going to get closer. I'm going to show y'all that later. Here's another sister, right, from Ethiopia with the braids, not locks, right? So don't tell me that because you seen Shiva, the god of the Elamites, wearing it, locks that we can't wear them because it's an Elamite custom. If that's the case, then y'all stole braids from your first slave master. That's if you want to go there, y'all stole braids from your first slave master because here they are wearing them, right? Here go one. You feel me? Ancient Egyptian with the side lock. This is your side lock from Shaka Amo. It ain't supposed to be a dreadlock. It's supposed to be braided, right? Here's a real one. It ain't supposed to be braided. I mean, it's not supposed to be locked together. It's braided. You feel? So, and he got like silly putty on his junk to make it hard. I don't know what they put on it. Some type of beeswax, right? Here's all the Egyptian women with the braids in their hair. You feel me? Here's a Gadite. Here's Samson, right? With the woven hair in 7 locks woven together in a ringlet of hair. It's plaited. So, I mean, look, bro. Don't sit here and tell me that we can't have, locks and that we supposed to have cornrows because it's Africans right here with the cornrows, bro. I mean, you're not going. Yeah, wow.
Yeah, they're going
Let me see what else. Look at this. The brother's unclean, but here's one with an afro, right? You got an Ethiopian with an afro. That's why there's a difference between Egyptians and Israel, right? These people would technically be Egyptians when they was talking about that. Ethiopia and Egypt go hand in hand in the Bible, right? So just like an Ethiopian could wear afro, walk down the street. If this man could grow a beard, he look just like Jake, but he's not, right? So all you brothers saying, no, you're not supposed to have braids or you're supposed to wear the afro. Hair's supposed to be woolly like G. Well, no. The Northern Kingdom can't be the Northern Kingdom because they're supposed to have woolly hair. Well, then this Ethiopian brother is a damn. He's a Gadite. He's Issachar because he got a damn afro, bruh. That's how y'all sound by trying to tell us we can't have locks because of Elamite warden. Well, then y'all better not have no afros on no more, because everybody that see this video see that this Ethiopian right here, this Cushite, he's wearing them. King of Babylon with an afro, right there in your face. Like, come on, bro, y'all wild. This is how you get through the consecration of the Nazarite vow. This is how your hair doesn't fall out during the consecration and your time of separation, so that you can cut everything off your head, put it in the fire, and wave it to the Most High as a burnt offering. That's the only way it's possible. These, right? Let's get more though. Let's see how locks are translated into a veil. And you tell me if they've used the word lock to translate into veil, how is this veil a veil that's supposed to cover your entire head? Something like this, right? If I just this is not a veil over my whole head, right? You can't do this with braids. I don't care how you have them, because they have to stick to your head at some point. Till they get to the back of your head, the braids got to be stuck to your scalp. They can't be a veil. So why is locks translated as veil in the Bible? Let's get it. Song of Solomon, chapter 4, verse 1. Y'all mess with the wrong one, bro. I'm telling you. I've been sitting on this lock lesson for a year. Haven't brought it out. Was hoping I don't have to, but I keep asking. I done heard brothers cut their hair off because they seen videos recently, and they wasn't supposed to do that. They wasn't supposed to. Brothers is not supposed to make you cut your hair off for something that's not in the Bible or something you can't do. Where there's no law, there's no sin. And there's no law that says thou shalt not have locks, or thou shalt not have dreads, or thou shalt not have dreadlocks. It ain't in there. It ain't gonna be in there. Because again, the only way to pass the consecration of the Nazarite vow is to have dreadlocks. We're proving that emphatically. Somebody with braids, tell me how you could do your hair again without picking your hair out so hair come out your head and you mess up your Nazarite vow.
Not possible.
One person put it in the comments for me because I want to know. Please, Baba Kasha. What I asked for? Song of Solomon 4:1, right? Hold up. Yes. Come on. All right. Go ahead. Read that. Song of Solomon.
This is Song of Solomon, chapter 4, verse 1. Behold, thou art fair, my love. Behold, thou art fair. Thou hast dove's eyes within thy locks. Thy hair is a flock of goats that appear from Mount Gilead.
Okay. My hair is as a flock of goats that appear from Mount Gilead. Right? So she ain't talking about locks. She got hair like a flock of goats. But why is her hair like a flock of goats described as locks? Right? Because we know if you got goat hair, right? If you got hair like a cracker and it's long, you could spread your whole hair out over your head like I just did to show you have a veil, right? Or a covering over your whole head, right? She's likening him to a veil or a covering. We're going to prove it. Do I want verse 2? Nah. All right. So tools. Let's get locks. They're like, why is he talking about a veil? It says locks, right? Sama, right? And as y'all see, there's been 3 different words for lock now. Because a lock can be, it's used to describe different things, right? But you'll see that when you think about locks as in hair, the reason why the white man or the translators of our people, right, during the King James time, and the reason why the white man who does the studies now, the scholarly studies now to make his own translations, has still kept the word locks there, is because in this verse in particular, the only way for it to be locks as a veil is to have dreadlocks in your hair. You can't lock your hair and veil your head with cornrows. It's not possible. You can't cover your face. You can't cover your forehead. It's not a veil. It can't be a covering. It can't be likened to a covering. It's stuck to your scalp. Watch. Veil. Woman's veil. Sisters, y'all worn a veil before to camp, to your feast days, whatever. Can the veil stop right here and be stuck to your head? Right? It's got to be something you could cover over like a hood. Right? I could use my hair as a here. Let me keep reading. It says semed, from an unused root meaning to fasten on a veil, locks. To fasten on a veil, locks. Anybody took language arts to know what this line here means? Huh? I forget what you call it, but when it's there, there's a reason it's there, right? It's there to connect certain words together and to show you the similitude or the what's the word I'm trying to say? It's trying to show you the similarity between the 2 words and how they can be used together, right? So it's telling you that veil is being used as in to describe locks here, right? Locks as in locks of your hair. How is it possible to have locks and liken them to a veil? Huh? If they like this. If they like this. This the only way. This could be a veil. A woman's veil, a covering, a head covering. You can't see me no more. I'm covered. You feel me? You can't do that with cornrows. So that ain't what it was talking about, right? There's more. Let's get Song of Solomon chapter 5 verse 2.
Come on. This is Song of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 2.
Wait, hold on. Let me pull it up. Hold up.
Come
on. 5, 2. Go ahead.
Come. I sleep.
Hold on, time out. Wait, hold on. I didn't say no cornrows. That ain't what I'm saying. I ain't saying no to cornrow, because there ain't no law that says thou shalt not cornrow thy head. You feel me?
Okay.
Thou shalt not braid thy hair. Ain't no law that says that. I ain't saying that. I'm just simply making the case that brothers cannot say that we can't wear certain things no more if it's not a law written. And now I'm proving the fact that the only way that the Nazarite vow could have been written with locks is to have these type of locks. So they're saying we can't wear something that was written for us to wear in the first place. Go ahead, Judah.
This is why I asked y'all not to teach in the chat, right? Because the brother is saying what he's saying with purpose. But if y'all take what y'all want to take from it, y'all might stray somebody else away.
Right.
He didn't say full roles, right? So y'all gotta just please,
What I'm telling you is, in a nutshell, the next time you see a brother with locks and you was from a camp that says locks is against the Most High, what you do is you look that brother in the eye and you dap him up. Shalom, like your hair. You feel me? Because it's not illegal. It's not against the law. You understand what I'm saying? I'm gonna give you a perfect example, right? We have camp with Sakari.
Right. Yep.
Sakari made a video saying they don't think locks are lawful. We still have camp with Sakari. Right. They set me up and treat me like a prince. They're not, hey, tell that guy that we don't want him over here. He got locks. They're not like that. There's multiple brothers in our camp with locks. They dap him up. They're not, hey, by the way, when you gonna cut your hair, you know what I'm saying? Because, nah, ain't none of that.
Right.
So why are y'all having the debate? What's the problem? You can have your opinion, but you ain't got to get on a brother because of his hair, because there's no law against it.
That's right.
That's unrighteously judging. There is a law against that.
Yeah. So,
Go ahead. Keep reading.
Con, you wanted me to give verse 2.
Song 5 and 1. Yes, start from the beginning. My bad.
Okay. All right. This is Song of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 1.
Well, really, you probably could just read 2. Yeah, read 2. Read 5 and 2. So like,
Okay. Song of Solomon 5 and 2. I sleep, but my heart waketh. It is the voice of my beloved that knocketh, saying,
hold up. Before you start, Cree, we gonna talk about what Paul said about long hair when I finish, because what Paul said about long hair wasn't in reference to us not being able to have long hair. He was speaking in a historical reference, right? A lot of brothers like to say that same brothers, right, that say Paul was talking about long hair there, will also say that when he said that the women, you know, like they're supposed to cover their head when they pray, they'll also tell you that that was just something he was saying for the Corinthians. It's not a law, so you don't have to still do it. That they could wear hats when they pray. The man don't have to take the hat off. They could be at camp teaching and stuff like that with the hat on and stuff because he wasn't talking about a hat, right? But so it's in the same chapter, right, that he spoke about how hair wasn't supposed to be long for a man, but they take that literal, and they don't take the woman having to cover their head and the man having to cover his head literal, right? So it's a pick and choose thing. But I'm gonna prove to you later on that that ain't what that meant. Go ahead, do this. Salaki, if interrupt.
Nah, you good. Song of Solomon 5 and 2. I sleep, but my heart waketh. It is the voice of my beloved that knocketh, saying, open to me, my sister, my love, my dove, my undefiled. For my head is filled with dew, and my locks with drops of the night.
So her locks are filled with the drops of the night. Check this out. Y'all gonna be surprised. It's another word for locks, and it's not para, makla, whatever that thing is, or the other one we said to start with an M, or the T word. It ain't none of them, right? It's something completely different. Kevutsa, right? Kevutsa means locks of hair, but a feminine passive particle, its original sense is a forelock as shorn, right? AKA short locks. What are short locks? That brings us back to the other word we saw, right? Gadar, right? Which means to twist, right? To let grow, because your hair's supposed to be disheveled. So if you starting the Nazarite vow from with short hair, right? That's like an afro or something. You growing it into an afro. You're allowed to twist that hair, gadal, right? And till it grows, gadal, right? And or so it grows rather. And as you're twisting that hair, you could end up with shorn locks, aka kevutsa, right? It literally goes line in line, hand in hand. Short locks. The sister has short locks, short hair, twisted, right? Gadal. Four lock as shorn, short hair, right? Or you could simply translate it as short hair. You understand what I'm saying? But it's still another word for lock. That's why I'm having it put as with gadal, because I know that's what it was translated as with the forelock. You understand? But it says it again in verse 11. If we were to go to Song 5 and 11, it says the same thing. In fact, let's read that one. Let's see how it's talked about in 5 and 11.
Song of Solomon 5 and 11.
And see why it has, and see why it has the same exact definition. Right? Go ahead.
Come. This is Songs of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 11.
Right.
His head is as the most fine gold. His locks are
Hold
bushy.
up. Salakia. This screen is not sharing. I'm sitting here thinking I could see that the whole time. Maybe you couldn't. All right, select me. Let me show you that way right quick. All right. Y'all gotta say something, man. Y'all should say something. Like, why we can't see it? What's he talking about? This brother's stupid. Y'all gotta tell me in the comments. Y'all gotta say something. All right, but look. So it says, right? Kavutsa, okay? Kavutsa. Locks of hair, right? A forelock as shorn. So I'm telling you, this sister had short locks, right? The same short locks that you can kadal, which will grow as you twist them, right? So, moving on, 5 and 11. Go ahead. But let's
Song
see
of
what
Solomon.
that's and which locks this is. Go ahead.
Song of Solomon.
Hold up.
5:11. His head
Okay.
is as the most fine gold. His locks are bushy and black as a raven.
His locks are bushy and black as a raven. Right. It is possible to have bushy locks, but let's see what they talking about here. His locks. Ooh, same word. Kavutsa. Kavutsa. Right? Its original sense, a forelock as shorn lock, short locks. So there it is, right? But I want to give y'all one more example because basically the other words in the Bible that are translated as lock have somewhere one of these couple of meanings that we've given you. So the last different one is this. Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 8 and verse 3. Let's see about brother Ezekiel. See what type of hair Ezekiel had and if it was possible for his head to be cornrows. Let's see. What the? Come on, blue letter. What I want? 8. There you go. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead and read that.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 8, verse 3. And he put forth the form of an hand and took me by a lock of mine head. And the Spirit lifted me up between the earth and the heaven and brought me in the visions of Yahweh to Jerusalem, to the door of the inner gate that looketh towards the north, where was the seat of the image of jealousy, which provoketh to jealousy.
Right. It's a good scripture, but we're here to talk about the locks. So it says, and took me by a lock of mine head. What type of locks was on his head? Right? Oh my goodness. Y'all gonna hate this. Watch this. ZZ. ZZ. Y'all know what a ZZ is? A twisted cord, the tassels. Deuteronomy, what's that? 12 and 14? Huh? Fringe, tassel, lock. Fringe, tassel, lock. Right? A floral or wing-like projection, AE, forelock of hair, tassel, fringe, lock. How can you lock a hair? How can hair look like a tassel? First off, before I show you, how can hair be grabbed? How can you be grabbed by a lock of hair if it's a cornrow? If you got cornrows stuck to your head, how you get grabbed by your hair? By one lock. And they could pull you without the lock falling out and you being able to run away.
Right.
Come on now. But if you got something like, let me wait for it to pop up, I'm in the boonies, my computer be slow. If you got something like this, Judah, you could pull. I got 5 pieces of hair right here, right? I could pull this. If somebody could pull me down the street, your hair gonna stay right here, connected to my head, because it's woven together.
That's
Like
right.
a ZZ. a twisted cord or a tassel in a lock. You can't do that with cornrows. I don't care what type of hair you got. It's never been done and it never will be.
That's right.
Show me somebody that could do that with cornrows.
They did. That mess will hurt. That can't happen. My little brother got cornrows. That ain't happening.
You can unlock locks.
Yep, sure can.
It's many ways to start locks. You can interlock them and still get them unlocked. You would just have to be able to untie the knots, which takes a long time. That's why brothers would rather get them cut off. But you can always undo locks. There's ways to do it. It really depends on the type of product you used and whether your hair was interlocked or not. Most brothers don't get their hair interlocked, so if you just twisted it together, put some beeswax on it, you can break the beeswax with some alcohol and stuff like that. It takes time, but you break the beeswax with some alcohol and you can unravel every single one of the locks. I've seen it be done before, multiple times. It almost got done to my hair because I asked for it, but I decided not to do it. I could unravel my locks, and they're interlocked. So again, it's crazy how people with locks like to tell people, people without locks like to tell people with locks what they can and can't do with their hair. But we know what you can and can't do with braids because most of us probably had braids before we got the locks. You know what I'm saying? We can talk about what I use for my locks later on. The stuff I use is made at home. It's going to be a line coming out soon just for Israel. We can talk about that another day. But so this is something that was used, right? It's locks. We've had them since the beginning of time, and as you see, Ezekiel had the same ones. But let's prove it, right? Because Ezekiel's going to talk about locks, right? He's still going to talk about locks all the way in verse 44. Let's get Ezekiel 44 in verse 1.
Come on. The book of Ezekiel.
Hold on. Let's lock it. So you see, Ezekiel says that he was pulled by the hair, by the lock of his head, right? And this lock was like a zit. So he wasn't talking about a braid because you can't be pulled by a cornrow. Try again. So he was pulled by a lock, right? A stranded lock, as we would call it these days, whether it's 2-strand, 4-strand, 6-strand, 7-strand, 8-strand, however many strands it was, right? He was pulled by a strand of locks, right? As if they were a zit or a twisted cord. You understand? And that's how he was pulled by the lock of his head. But let's get Ezekiel 44 and 1.
Come on.
I do use black seed oil. I don't use black castor oil. All right. Go ahead.
Come, this is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 44 and verse 1. Then he brought me back the way of the gate of the outward sanctuary, which looketh towards the east, and it was shut. Then said the Lord unto me, this gate shall be shut, it shall not be opened, and no man shall enter in by it, because the Lord, the power of Israel, have entered in by it, therefore it should be shut. It is for the prince. The prince he shall sit in it to eat bread before the Lord. He shall enter by the way of the porch of that gate, and shall go out by the way of the same. Then brought he me the way of the north gate before the house, and I looked, and behold, the glory of the Lord filled the house of the Lord, and I fell upon my face. And the Lord said unto me, Son of man, mark well, behold with thine eyes, and hear with thine ears all that I say unto thee concerning all the ordinances of the house of the Lord, and all of the laws thereof. And mark well the entering in of the house, with every going forth of the sanctuary.
So Ezekiel's having a future vision of the sanctuary in the kingdom of heaven, right? Lloyd, Colin, I saw you said something about we in a I don't know
pandemic.
what it's like. He's saying a lot of stuff.
He said we're in a pandemic and we shouldn't
What are
be
we talking
talking.
about here? Okay, check this out, Lloyd. For brothers and sisters to be in a pandemic, this is the perfect time to talk about here. Because brothers and sisters die through pandemics, right? Now, if brothers die with something unclean on their head, wouldn't it be a bad thing if we just let them die with what they thought was unclean?
Exactly.
So this is a perfect time to talk about hair because it's a conversation in Israel going on saying that locks are unclean, right?
Exactly.
So I'm trying to let brothers know through the Bible that they're not unclean. It's impossible for them to be unclean because they're in the Bible. You understand me? So, yeah, Lloyd, we are gonna talk about hair. If you don't like it, you can go watch somebody else's channel. Shalom.
That's right.
All right.
That's
So jump to verse 15 for me.
Khan, this is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 44, verse
I'm tired of
15.
arguing with y'all. If y'all want to argue, y'all can hashtag Cunning Camp. Stop arguing in my comments. Go ahead.
Right. But the priests, the Levites, the sons of Zadok, that kept the charge of my sanctuary when the children of Israel went astray from me.
So now he's talking about the Levites, right? The sons of Zadok. You understand? Big time Levites. You feel me? These people are going to be in the sanctuary, and eventually he's going to talk about their hair. Mind you, these are the Levites, the people whose possession is the most high. They don't get no land. They get the most high.
That's right.
He's saying they're going to have a consecration in the kingdom, and it's still going to be their hair. And we're going to find out what it's going to look like. Go ahead.
That's right. They shall come near to me to minister unto me, and they shall stand before me to offer unto me the fat and the blood, saith the Lord God. They shall enter into my sanctuary, and they shall come near to my table to minister unto me, and they shall keep my charge. And it shall come to pass that when they enter in at the gates of the inner court, they shall be clothed with linen garments, and no wool shall come upon them, whilst they minister in the gates of the inner court and within. They shall have linen bonnets upon their heads, and shall have linen breeches upon their loins.
Mm-hmm.
They shall not gird themselves with anything that causes sweat.
Now hold on, wait, hold on, because there is doctrines where we shouldn't have, cornrows or braids. We should have afros. It's hard to wear a bonnet with an afro. Go ahead.
And when they go forth into the other court, even into the other court to the people, they shall put off their garments wherein they ministered, and lay them in the holy chambers. And they shall put on other garments, and they shall not sanctify the people with their garments.
Now check this out. Now he was just describing the garments of these Levites that are going to be sanctifying the tabernacle in the kingdom, right? This is what they're going to look like. Go ahead. Do what their hair. This is what their hair going to look like now. They're going to have on linen garments. Wool is not going to touch their body. They're going to have on linen bonnets. Keep going. What's going to be under the linen bonnets? Go ahead.
Neither shall they shave their heads, nor suffer their locks to grow long.
Go ahead.
They shall only poll their heads.
So these guys are gonna have locks, but they're gonna have to poll their heads. Their locks ain't gonna be able to grow long. They have to poll them, right? So let's see. Suffer their locks. Oh my goodness, it's para. Para. Come on, guys. Hold on. Blue letter one act stupid. No, I clicked on the strong joint. I'm trying to play games. Okay. Para. Hair, long hair of head, locks, right? The hair as disheveled. Again, disheveled hair. Y'all don't leave your hair disheveled when you got cornrows. When you get a little bit of new growth, you go get it picked out and rebraided again. Huh? When your hair been disheveled? If it get too disheveled, you wanna know why you can never leave your hair disheveled with cornrows? Because if it get too disheveled, it starts to lock up just like the type of locks I got anyway, and you can't put a comb through it no more. Right? Which would be the only way you could stop that hair from falling out your head. Right? So in order for these locks that these Levites gonna have as their consecration to the Most High, because He's their inheritance, right? So they're gonna forever be separate from the rest of the tribes, and the physical symbol of that consecration shall be their heads, right? What did Lloyd say that y'all had to delete his message? I ain't get to see what he said.
He said he's going to a mature chat like another camp. I'm not going to name their camp because we don't beef with camps. He said we're 2/3 and the nukes are going to give us scalp damage.
The water, that's great. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the ox that's gonna have scalp damage when the nukes come, right? All right. We 2/3 because we telling brothers that locks is legal, and other brothers have made videos saying that locks are illegal, but they not 2/3. Yeah, all right.
I don't want Salaki. So if locks were illegal, right, and we was making this video, according to him, we should still be talking about something else. So all the brothers and sisters that might have been walking around with illegal, unlawful hairdos should have just,
and we shouldn't have cared about it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What if Ahmed Aubrey had locks, y'all? You know what I'm saying? The brother would be telling me I shouldn't be talking about it right now because that means the brother died with something unclean on his head, according to some people, right? So I'm just saying it's definitely a conversation to have because, like I said earlier, people cut their hair off because they thought they was in sin, and some brothers was growing their locks for years.
Right. Start your own channel. And teach what you want to teach.
Anyway, so as you see though, right, the locks that these Levites are gonna have in the kingdom of heaven still have to be disheveled, right? Still have to be disheveled locks, which means they can't be touched. Your consecration still has to be a consecration to the Most High. I just want to see what this say. I didn't look it up. Primitive root to send away. Okay, yeah. So roll on. Cast out, forsake. Yeah. All right. But yeah, so I mean, that's that. I don't know what else y'all want me to show you. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, we got para, which means what it means, right? The shovel hair. We have gadal, which means to twist, right? To grow and to twist as the primitive root for the verse of Numbers 6 and 5, right? We have oh, you know what we didn't look up? Consecration in the blue letter.
Right.
It must I don't know. We'll find out. Nope. Root 2 R's. I know it ain't gonna work there. You only had the exact spelling. Y'all trash. All right, hold on. Let me get this right quick, y'all. Okay. Hold on, y'all. So lucky. I want to show y'all this in the blue letter too, because it's Nazar, right? Nazar being the word for the Nazarites. Might as well see what that means too. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Numbers. Trying to be difficult. Number 6 and 7. All right. Look at this. Nazar, right? Consecration of the crown. See, consecration, crown, separation, Nazar shit. So that's what it means. It's a consecration of the crown, showing your separation of Nazarite shit, right? Okay. So properly something set apart, right? So to be set apart, oh, unshorn locks, uncut locks. Ha. So to be set apart as a Nazarite, you have to have unshorn locks, not unshorn ringlets of hair, but unshorn locks, right? And we showed you that the only way to have unshorn locks is to have what they call dreadlocks, right? Because you can't be unshorn. I mean, you can't be disheveled with you can't be disheveled with braids. I've never seen it because y'all get your braids redone over and over and over again. You have to, or your braids will become dreadlocks. Did y'all know that? If you were to leave your braids or your cornrows disheveled, if you did what the scripture said a Nazarite's supposed to do with your braids, they become dreadlocks. It's a lock I got in my hair somewhere that was too small, and the lady who started my locks put it with another one, so now it's a big lock. Yeah, it's this one. You can't really tell because it's become one lock, but it's a big old lock. You know what I'm saying? I got this one too, but it's a big old lock, and it's like that because it's got two locks braided into each other. They were cornrowed, literally stranded together, and I left it like that too long. And guess what? Now it's one lock, and it's the same size as the rest of mine. It was two small ones, and now it's one because I left it disheveled, and it turned into this. A Nazarite's supposed to have disheveled hair, not supposed to be touched, unkept, nappy, unneat, whatever, right? If you let your cornrows get nappy, what happened? Turn into locks. You let your afro get nappy, it turned into twist, which eventually turn into locks. So what are you brothers talking about? What are you talking about? You're saying you can't have locks because you don't wash them enough. My locks is clean. I wash mine just as regularly as I did when I had waves. And my junk was swimming. You know what I'm saying? I used to get my hair wet all the time. The water for the donation. Who did that? I can't see.
DMC.
Yeah, the water DMC for the donation. So this what brothers gotta understand, right? All that stuff, like y'all weren't thinking when you came up with this stuff. Seriously. Because you can't have disheveled hair with cornrows. If you let your cornrows get disheveled, they turn into locks. The things that you're telling people are unclean. So if the Nazarites are supposed to have disheveled hair and you're never letting your hair get disheveled, that means you're never committing to the Nazarite vow. Because the reason, as I showed earlier, it has to become disheveled, right, is because of your consecration. You understand what I'm saying? It has to become disheveled because these type of locks are the only locks you can have in order to keep that concentration. That consecration. Because if you were to pick your hair, right, for that cornrow to get turned into a cornrow, you're losing hair.
That's right.
It's proof. I showed you guys the proof. Every day, without locks, you lose 50 to 100 hair particles naturally. That's the way the Most High set it up. Every day, you lose 50 to 100 hair particles. They could be really small or they could be big enough for you to see it depending on how long your hair is. They're never big, long strands of hair the same size as my hair, but you lose really small hair follicles. And if your hair is as long as mine, your hair follicles are going to be about the size of a small afro so you can still see them when they fall out, right? But with locks, your hair don't fall out. My hair don't fall out. You understand what I'm saying? I don't have to comb my hair. It's not nappy. I can stick my finger through it. Look, I'm sticking it through a bunch of them. I can stick my finger through a bunch of them. Where's this one in the front right here? I can stick my finger through it, real easy, right? Through all parts of the bottom of it. You understand me? So it's not tangled up. You understand? It's simple. It's just like an afro, but it's twisted together so that I can continue the consecration through the whole time I'm separated as a Nazarite. So that when it's time for me to cut this off at the doorsteps, right, for the priest to be able to put it inside of the fire and wave it as a peace offering to the Most High, I have to be able to cut all of this hair off. You can't do that with an afro or with your braids or your cornrows that eventually turn into an afro when you're taking them out. Because every time you got to get them redone again, you're losing hair and you're putting it in the garbage can. So that's the lesson. Hope it was edifying to you all. Now I'm going to see what y'all was saying in the comments.
Yeah, because Lord Kali is back.
Lord Kali, how you grow your locks is precept upon precept. What?
How do you have a haircut? Is being precept upon precept.
No, lose your salvation in time of grace. We are not going to lose our salvation for talking about hair, Lord. This actually helped a lot of people, right? This video is going to stop brothers for unrighteously judging brothers with locks, which is going to send them to condemnation, right? You can't unrighteously judge. That is a law we have. You know what I'm saying? Because if you unrighteously judge, you send other people the same message that they can judge for the same thing you were unrighteously judging for, i.e., locks, right? So then brothers and sisters start telling other brothers they can't have locks, and then they start spreading that line further and further and further down through Israel until there's a big old conspiracy against locks, right? Like there is right now. So brothers start cussing brothers out. You're going to hell. Most High's gonna kill you, all because of the stuff you got on your head. And there's no law against it in the Bible, right? So even if I couldn't prove nothing of what I said today, you still wouldn't be able to talk about brothers with locks because there's no law that says thou shalt not wear locks.
Exactly.
So there is a reason for us to be talking about this, Mr. Lord.
Precept.
Flower. Okay. So that's right, right? I got locks too. That's what I'm saying, y'all. Hey, but look. So, what y'all was saying, bro?
Rocky, I got to piece up real quick.
Yeah, go ahead, bring it up. Let me see what type of folly y'all was saying in the comments.
This is Romans 4:15. Because the law worketh wrath, for where there is no law, there is no transgression. So like the brother was saying, until you can find the scripture that says thou shalt not have locks and post it real quick, I will share my screen, I will pull it up, and then we will shut this thing down right now. Find it. Where there is no law, there's no transgression. Right? But you have brothers, right, who think or thought that locks are lawful.
Oh yeah, the water, y'all. Hey, hold up. Wait. We can't end the lesson yet. We got to talk about 1 Corinthians 11. Go there.
Yes.
We got to talk about why Paul. And then Cree, Yana, I'm going to ask you another question. Because I think you don't want to answer. If I'm not, you might not have been. But somebody asked this question. What about what Paul said, about long hair? So we're going to go ahead and talk about that. Because I'm going to teach y'all some history. Y'all know I like the history, so we're going to go into some history. We're going to go into some history. And I'm going to let y'all look it up in your own time.
Is it 1 Corinthians 11:14? Let me read that real quick.
Yeah, good. Yeah. Is that where it starts?
Let's see.
Dang, I gotta pull it up. Hold up.
Might start at 13. I think it starts at 13. But the point of folks.
Nevertheless, churches. Yeah, okay. All right, yeah, just start at 14.
14?
Yeah, go ahead.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 11, verse 14. Does not even nature itself teach you that if a man have long hair, is it a shame unto him?
So, hold on, I'm trying to find an article to prove my point. Basically, with this verse, hold on, let me see if I can find this because I don't want to just talk. Hold on, yeah, give me a second. Read that one more time for them. So they can.
Does not nature itself teach you that if a man have long hair, it is a shame unto him? And Lord, probably look, if you don't like what we're teaching, feel free to exit out of the video. Like the other one said, this is Milk Monday, right? Right? We have plenty of videos, like the other one said, that are talking just about what you're talking about. But like I don't want all y'all said, this is a topic that is in Israel right now. So he's relieving the pressure off of some people that might think that these locks are going to have them in the condemnation. They want to know. Right? So if you don't like it, please go somewhere else. That's it. It's as simple as that.
Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to find. Okay. Y'all might just have to look this up on your own time because Google is doing dirty. But what it was, some history for you all. Prostitution in ancient Greece, right? And in Rome as well. The term apprentice comes from this time period, right? It was not uncommon for a nobleman to have an apprentice, and the apprentice would usually be a little boy, right? This apprentice would be made to do whatever services, sexually or otherwise, that the nobleman wanted to have done. And if you were a prostitute, because they called the boy prostitutes apprentice and the girls prostitutes or whores, right? That's where the two words come from in their time, well, like in those senses. So the whore was a female prostitute. Now the thing with the prostitutes, the way that you're able to tell who was a prostitute and who wasn't, this might be in my damn history book because I learned this in history class. Wow, I gotta find this and do a lesson on it. I'm gonna do a lesson on this. I'm gonna do a whole lesson on this. But to be a prostitute in ancient Greece, this is the same reason why Paul had to tell them not to uncover their head and all that type of stuff and to cover their head, because it went with the same stuff. He mentioned it being against nature for a man to have long hair because it was the nature of the Greeks, right? It was customary for a male prostitute to have short or long hair. It was customary for a male prostitute to have long hair. If you were an apprentice in during Greek time period, in Greek customs or Roman customs, right, you would have long hair. And if you were a whore, you would be bald. This is why the women with the spirits, the black feminist spirit and stuff like that, in like 2015, they start shaving their heads because it was the same type of spirit. Now you see the black feminists, the whores or whatever that got that type of spirit. They like the bald heads, the blonde bald heads, in particular, the Amber Rose look. You understand what I'm saying? Because this was the same spiritual look that they gave to the women during Greek captivity. Same thing for the men. When the men had to be apprentices, they were made to wear long hair. So Paul was trying to tell them, in the same way that it's a shame for men to have long hair in this captivity, he's saying, like, he's using it as nature because they know, being in that captivity, when you see a dude with long hair, he's a thought. He's a you know what I'm saying? He's a like an apprentice. You know what I'm saying? He's a male whore. And when you see a lady with short hair, right? She's a whore. She's a thought. She's a stripper. She's something. You know what I'm saying? So it was frowned upon if they seen you with short hair and you're a woman. That's why it says it's a glorious thing for a woman to have long hair. Because a lot of women was trying to have long hair back then, particularly because they didn't want to be seen bald because then people get the misconception that you're a whore if you're not one, right? And if you're a man with long hair, they weren't wearing long hair because if they were seen with long hair, then people would think they're an apprentice. None of the girls don't want to talk to you because they see you got long hair. So they're like, oh, well, this dude's, he's messing with a nobleman because he got long hair. So it was a bad thing to have long hair back then. He wasn't saying that it's a bad thing, period, because how can it be against the law to have long hair and there's a Nazarite vow, ladies and gentlemen, where you're not supposed to cut your hair? That would be a contradiction in the Bible. In the same Nazarite vow, they're supposed to have shorn locks, but still locks nonetheless, or not shorn, pulled, which means trimmed, which means they're still going to come to a certain length. If they're this long, they're still long, which would mean in Paul's time, you would still be considered an apprentice. And in Paul's time, ain't no temple, so nobody should be doing a Nazarite vow around the Greeks anyway, because they got swine's flesh all in the temple. They got whores running around anyway. They got apprentices with caps on under the gym. In the gym under the tabernacle with hats because of Jason. Spotting brothers butt naked. You understand what I'm saying? This is not vulgar stuff. This is real talk. This is what was happening on. Like, this is what was going on in them time periods. You understand what I'm saying? You can look all this stuff up. It's in this book. Brother Glenn bought the book. Y'all need to go buy the book, man. You understand? You can learn all that stuff in this book. I'm going to do a video on it, though. Right? So that's what it was. The reason Paul said that was to give them precautionary measures to know, hey, he was basically talking about the covering thing. He was trying to tell the women it's a great thing for you to have a covering. But then he puts it in perspective. The same way it's against nature for a man to have long hair, he's trying to say, hey, the man can't have a covering, you know what I'm saying? Because his covering, his hair is the Most High God. And the women have to have a covering, so y'all gonna have long hair. So he says, we're gonna, and it's a glorious thing for the women to have long hair. Because he's trying to put it in that perspective. But they all knew during that time period, hey, also, he's saying this because if I see a man with a long hair, he's gay. You know what I'm saying? He's messing with Apollo or Pluto, whatever, dude. Let me see if I can find that. Because it's a quote that one of these faggots used to prove my point. And I have it. Let me see if I can pull that up for y'all right quick. Hold up. Where this man at? Oh, damn. Here we go. Yeah, let me let y'all read this. Shout out to Priest Daniel Allah and Hashar for giving me this one. Hold on, slowly. But this is basically going to prove the point on the pederasty. That's what they called it, right? That's why pedophilia is a thing that's going to eventually become legal here, because pederasty was the first form of it during the Greek time period. Yo, this thing is not, it's really about to stop working. Oh my God.
Can I bring on a preset real quick while you looking for that?
Please do.
Okay.
I found it. I'm just waiting on it to come up without crashing my computer.
Right. There's a lot in this that I could get, but this is for the scoffers, or I think they're gone now. But for those of y'all that are in the chat who might be thinking, well, yeah, brother just got shot. We're in the last day. Why are we talking about hair? Right? Why are we talking about hair? We're in the last days, and people are getting shot. Just like the brother Oriah said in the comments, bro, we getting shot every day. This is not nothing new, right? We are still under the curses of Deuteronomy 28, right? Until the elect is sealed and we get taken up out of here, this is going to happen, right? But like the guy was trying to say, why are we talking about hair in these last days and all of this stuff like that, right? I'm going to tell you why the brother is talking about hair. And this is in the Bible, since you think this is not important enough to talk about. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, or Sirach, chapter 5, verse 15. And it says, be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or a small. So for y'all to think, y'all think this is a small matter, fine, we'll take that. It's a small matter, cool. But the Bible
It's more to me.
says
It's
ignorant.
more to people that's not in this situation where they got to turn their back left
Right.
and right, and they got brothers. Hey, brother, you got locks on and you got fringes, brother. Well, you can't do that. You
Exactly.
ain't going through that every day. I am. Brother
Thank you.
Malachi is. Y'all
Thank
are
you.
is. Other
Thank
brothers that got locks around the world is because there's a doctrine, right,
you.
that's been going on since One West that says we not supposed to have locks.
That's
But
right.
knowledge shall increase in the end days, right? In the last times. You understand what I'm saying? We're getting more knowledge as time goes on. One
That's
West
right.
also taught the Immaculate Conception.
That's right. Bob J.
We ain't teaching Gabriel had sex with Miriam, right? With Miriam. You
Right.
feel me? We're not teaching that. They
Right.
eventually grew out of that.
That's right.
So now it's time for them to grow out of this locked hate too.
That's
Because
right.
it's not biblical. Just like the Immaculate Conception was not biblical, right?
That's
So we're gonna get back to the milk again. Go ahead.
Salaki. Somebody had a question. Bob J. That book was
Oh yeah. I was going to say that. I was just
okay. Yeah. Ecclesiastes.
and I want to post this one. The book, no. He's talking about this history book. It's
Oh my.
called Worlds Together and Worlds Apart, right?
My
Worlds Together and Worlds Apart. It's orange with a double-headed snake on it. It's volume 1. There's many volumes. It's the beginners through the 15th century, 4th edition. Make sure you get the 4th edition because 1, 2, and 3 is missing information on Israel, right? It's made by Tigner, Adelman, Brown, Elman, Salakia, Lou, Pittman, and Shaw, right? So these are the historians that came up with this stuff. Yeah. So I once again jugged this book from Georgia State, the water Georgia State. So um yeah, that's that. And I wanted to post what this brother said because it's very smart, right? People need to understand the time frames during certain times in the Bible and who were in power, right? Now, let's look at this. Let's look at this, right? This is Plato. Many of you have heard of him before. Many of you don't know what he's famous for. He's famous for being a Greek faggot and a philosopher. Okay, check this out. Plato says sex between a man and a boy alone is capable of satisfying a man's highest and noblest aspirations. And the love between man and woman, when spoken of at all, is altogether inferior. It is a purely physical impulse whose sole object is the procreation of life. So, this proves to you that Esau is a freak and a faggot and a vagabond in earth, and the devil that the Bible speaks of. Because check this out. Because of this culture of pederasty that was going on during the Greek time periods, right? Right? People like Plato are able to say the things that he just said, which makes a culture of you having sex with little boys and little girls. For those of them that was into that, right? That's why they were whores. So what I'm telling you is these men who you look up to, all you philosopher people, this is why the Most High says in Colossians 3 and 8. Let's read that right quick. Read that right quick, since we're talking about a philosopher. It's the perfect time to read that. Colossians 3 and verse 8. Colossians 3 and 8. Because look, these people were out here straight up destroying little boys and little girls. And they're making, if you're a boy, they're making you dress like a girl, right? They're making you wear long hair to look like a woman in public. There was a Roman king, I forget what his name is. But he was a king right before Philip of Macedon took over, but I forgot his name. Nero, I think his name is Nero. He said that he killed his wife because she pissed him off one day, and he found a boy in the village. He cut off the boy's balls and made him put on a blonde wig and dress like his wife for the rest of his life. And that's what he was seen with as his wife, the little boy, because he killed his real one. So Paul is telling you, because of the people who they're in captivity to, it's a shame for a man to have long hair. Because everybody that he's talking to knows that if you a guy with long hair in this captivity, you a faggot. Or you getting treated like one. right? And if you a girl in this captivity, you're gonna have a bald head. So it's a glorious thing for a woman to have long hair, because the ones with bald heads are getting a Amber Rose, Kim Kardashian on. You understand what I'm saying? That's the reason why he wrote that in the Bible. Colossians 2:8.
Con. This is the book of Colossians.
Did I say Colossians 3:8? I think I said 3:8. Salakia.
You want 3 and 8?
No, I want 2:8. 2:8. I'm
This
tripping.
book of Colossians, chapter 2, verse 8. Beware lest any man spoil you.
The water. He knew what I was talking about. Go ahead.
Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Christ.
Let's bring it up again, right? Damn, where'd he go? The traditions of men. I ain't. It's gonna take too long to bring it up. The traditions of men was Plato, and what he just said, right? That having sex with a little boy is better than doing it with a woman, and that having sex with a woman is only here for the sole purpose of procreation. If you want to have fun and enjoy yourself, they was teaching you to get a little boy in Roman Greek captivity, and the name for it was pederasty by way of mentorship. And you being the mentor, you had an apprentice. Donald Trump. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, boys and girls, right? That's what this is. That's why he said that, right? Because of the type of people he was around. He wasn't telling you that a man can't have long hair and a woman can't have short hair. He was saying in that time period, you better not have one or the other. If you're a man, you better not have long hair, and if you're a woman, you better not have short hair, because they knew what that means, right? He was shaming the people who had short hair and long hair that was in the room with him, because they knew they was doing stuff that wasn't according to the Bible. You know they was in there. That's who Paul was talking to.
That's right.
So brothers need to grow up and actually learn the real context of the scriptures. And brothers need to stop trying to use certain context for what they want to use it for. Don't tell me that brother can't have long hair because of what Paul said, and then tell me in the same scripture sisters ain't supposed to cover their head because of what Paul said wasn't really law. You contradicting yourself. He said it in the same damn chapter. That's still 1 Corinthians 11, right? 1 Corinthians 11:14, where he talk about the women having to have, the men can't have long hair, right? He's talking about the covering just a couple of verses above that. Yep. That's why he's talking about them having long and short hair. The woman who's supposed to have long hair, who he says in 15, it's a glorious thing for her to have long hair. Long hair represents a covering, right? Mm-hmm. And what is a covering? Your husband.
Yep.
Hair is a covering. So that's what he's saying. Your hair was the covering, right? For the woman. And for a man, we're not supposed to have nothing on our head. Our covering's Yahushua, right? Whose covering is the Most High. So our head's supposed to be uncovered. He was saying, y'all need like short hair because your long hair is like a covering. You look just being just like a woman now. You feel me? He wasn't saying you can't have long hair. He was putting it in context with the times he was in. That's just what it is. I learned that whole the pederasty thing, the same class I was in when I learned about the stuff on Israel and stuff in his book. Esau taught it to me. You know what I'm saying? He taught me this truth about his own people. And he actually said that. He's Italian. You know what I'm saying? This is a truth that I don't really like to talk about that much. He's Catholic. He don't like gay people. But this is a truth I don't like to talk about that much. But, I got to go into it. And then he starts talking about Plato. Starts talking about Aristotle. Starts talking about Nero and all their little, apprentices, right? Israelites who was trying to be like the Greeks on their, that was on their Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, Martin Luther King train, right? They had apprentices. They were mentors. Jason, the brother of Onias, asked for the dang temple to be built with naked little boys in it, with the bonnets on. You know what I'm saying? He asked for that. So, yeah, I mean, that's the answer to that, right? That's the reason why he said it. Straight up, plain and simple. He said it because of the times we were in. It wasn't so that it wasn't because a man can't have long hair. He literally said it because of the people that were around. If a man had long hair in that captivity, he was looked at as a faggot. And no faggot shall stand before the Most High.
That's right.
No whore shall, no daughter of Zion can enter into the kingdom of heaven. There shall be no whores of the daughter of Zion, right? So if you a whore, you had short hair. They were automatically looking at you as a whore who can't enter into the gates because of your lifestyle. If you had long hair and you was a man, they was looking at you that way. So that's what it is. So again, I hope the lesson was edifying for y'all. Do y'all have any questions on what I just said? This gonna get a lot of hate. They gonna be thumb down and mess out this video, boy.
Yeah, you might get flagged, Doc.
They gonna thumb it down. Yeah. Y'all look into that. Just look into how pederasty was during Roman and Greek captivity, and look at how they used to make the women have to shave their heads if they were whores, and look at how the apprentices or the little boy whores had to grow long hair and just like women. And then you tell me why Paul said what Paul said.
It's funny because there's an Edomite, some famous Edomite woman that adopts, black boys and dresses them up as women, and they walk around with dresses on. It's funny that you said that. But they're still doing it now.
Oh, all right. Okay. Somebody asked about the shield.
Okay.
I don't know how to say his name though. Sigapon? SGPon? I don't know.
I couldn't pronounce it neither.
I ain't even gonna try. Salakia for butchering your name. For real, didn't mean to do that. But the shield. The shield represents the lily and the pomegranate. I did this, didn't I do this?
You did it for us.
We got. Yeah, we could break this down in 3 minutes. Let's break it down real quick. Let's do it for me. Give me Numbers 24:7 first. No. We not pigs or nothing like that. We wear the shield because of, David, who was an Israelite. We wear the shield because of the lily flower, which is the Most High's favorite plant. We wear the shield because of the pomegranate, which was the Most High's favorite fruit. And it signifies the 613 law, statutes, and commandments that Israelites are supposed to follow. What you mean? I'm confused. No,
that's his name backwards. That's his name backwards. His name.
Okay. That's fine. I like that. Okay.
Yeah, that is though. All right, what did you want? My bad. That was funny.
Yeah, fat. He got mad. All right. So now I look stupid on camera. Anyway, let's go. So Numbers 24:17.
All right, this is the book of Numbers, chapter 24, and verse 17.
Mm-hmm.
I shall see him, but not now. I shall behold him, but not nigh.
Right.
There shall come a star out of Jacob,
Mm-hmm.
and a scepter shall rise out of Israel.
So there's going to be a star that come out of David and a scepter that come out of Israel, right? So the star that they talking about, obviously, is Yahweh. He's the one that's going to come out of David. That's a cut for you Old Testament Israelites that think it is David, because David can't come out himself.
That's right.
All right. So now Acts 7. I don't know if you know about Acts 7, but that's what they use to say something about the star of your God, Rimphron, Molech, whatever it says, right? So that star is the same words that's used in Numbers 24:17, and we know Numbers 24:17 is talking about Yahushua. I think the word is Kawaka. means figurehead or celebrity or something along those lines, right? Okay, con. So, they were trying to say Act 7 that Remfron or Molech was the figurehead of that religion, was the figurehead of the people following that belief system, right? And our people were in idolization or idol worship to that. So it was like them having the star of their god Remfron, right? It wasn't a physical star. We're going to prove that in a minute because stars, according to the Bible, don't look like this, right? But like I said, the same word for star translated in Acts 7 is the exact same word in Numbers 24:17. Just one is Latin, one is Hebrew, but it's got the same meaning, right? And kawakav would be the Hebrew word. This means figurehead, celebrity, you know what I'm saying? Star, big time person, famous person. So same way we call movie stars today, but they don't look like the things you see in the sky. They're still stars though, right? You feel me? Because they're figureheads in this society. You understand? So let's get Exodus chapter 28 and 34.
Come. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 28, and verse 34. A golden bell and a pomegranate. A golden bell and a pomegranate upon the hem of the robe round about.
Now remember, I said something about the pomegranate, right? Is there a difference? How many points to a star? I'm gonna bring that in a second. According to the Bible, star got no point. You know what? Let's get that first, and then we'll go on to the pomegranate and the lily. Let's get Wisdom of Solomon 13 and 2.
Gotcha.
Wisdom of Solomon 13 and 2. Yeah, let's show you what stars look like according to the Bible. All right.
This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon.
The lily and the pomegranate have 6 points, right? But they're not stars. So go ahead. This is not a star. I'm wearing it for a reason. I'm proving. But let's get what the star is first. Wisdom of Solomon 13:2.
This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, out of the Apocrypha, chapter 13, verse 2. But deemed either fire or wind or the swift air or the circle of the stars or violent water or the lights of heaven to be gods which govern the world.
We'll go back over there again, Sean. They said you put David instead of Jacob for Numbers 24. We know what you meant though.
What happened?
They said you said a star will come out of David, and it's supposed to be star will come out of Jacob. But I don't know. We're gonna go back. We're gonna read it again anyway. But so look, circles of the stars, right? Read that little part again, the part that says circles of the stars, so you can see it.
But deem either fire or wind or the swift air or the circle of the stars or the fountain water or the lights of heaven to be gods which govern the world.
Deemed either fire, air, or the circles of the stars, right? So the circles of the stars is what they're talking about here. Stars are supposed to be circles. This is why when you look up, what in the world, phone? This is why when you look up in the sky and you see the stars, you don't see anything with like 6 points or 5 points or 4 points or whatever. You might see that when it twinkle, right? When like your eyes is messed up, you might see points as it's twinkling by you, but you also see that when a diamond twinkles. A diamond don't look like a star, right? So, then that's where they get the whole points from when they talk about a star. It's the symbolization of the twinkle that they're trying to get you to see. But technically, it doesn't have a twinkle because a star is a ball of gas, right? A ball of gas, right? That's what they teach us. So they tell us a star is a ball of gas, but then they tell us stars got points. Can't be a ball with points, right? So, damn. Hold up. Now, that's the star. Get second Esdras 10 and second Esdras 10 and 23 before we go back to the pomegranate. The water y'all. I was looking for this and I didn't have it in my notes.
This is the book of second Esdras, chapter 10 verse 23. And, which is the greatest of all, the seal of Zion.
Mm-hmm. The what? The what? The what? The what? The what?
The seal of Zion.
So Zion has a seal, right?
Come.
Zion has a seal. The white man stole the seal and put it on their flag, right? That's why our brothers like to say our new seal is just a menorah, but that's not the facts, right? The menorah was given as a candlestick representation, right? But it's not technically the seal of Israel. The seal of Israel was what was put on them pomegranates, is what was decorated in the temple. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to talk about all of that stuff. And the things that they used to decorate the temple had these points on it, right? Looked just like this. And we're going to talk about why. Because they were in similitude of the lily, the Most High's favorite flower, and the pomegranate, the fruit that has 613 seeds, one seed for each law, statute, and commandment that signifies the covenant and the culture and the heritage of the Hebrew Israelites according to the Bible. So this is our seal, according to God. This is what he gave us, right? So we wear it. But Exodus chapter 28, verse 34.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 28 and verse 34. A golden bell and a pomegranate, a golden bell and a pomegranate upon the hem of the robe round about.
Yeah, because we also hold on, he asked the question. We also represent the stars. You know what I'm saying? We are stars, as I said. Yahweh Shai is a star, right? That will come out of Jacob. We're stars too, and it says the stars shall govern the earth, right? But it also talks about the circles of the stars. So it's telling you the stars shall govern the earth, as is to say the similitude there is that the Israelites are the stars that will eventually govern the earth. But it's telling you actual stars are circles. So that was the only point for me bringing that up, to prove to you that, ain't no points in a circle. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. So, but yeah, the Israelites are most definitely the stars that will govern the earth. You know what I'm saying? It was a parable. So, but yeah, get that Exodus again, Salaki.
Come. Exodus 28, verse 34. A golden bell and a pomegranate. A golden bell and a pomegranate upon the hem of the robe round about.
Right. So, golden bell and a pomegranate, golden bell and a pomegranate. Right. So, this on the hem of the robe round about. What goes on the hem? Right. Fringes. So they're telling you that these Levites, these priests here, also have pomegranates as their fringes on the hem of their garments. Right. Why? Because again, pomegranates have 613 seeds, which represent the 613 law, statutes, and commandments. So they're literally wearing the law, statutes, and commandments on their garment, along with the fringes that are supposed to help them remember the law, statutes, and commandments. So, Exodus 39:26. Skip more on the pomegranate.
It's the book of Exodus, chapter 39, verse 26.
Go ahead.
A bell and a pomegranate. A bell and a pomegranate round about the hem of the robe to minister in, as the Lord commanded Moses.
See, there it is again. Moses is right. He's got a robe with bells and pomegranates, right? 2 Kings 25:17. Now let's see how the temple was decorated with these same pointed objects, right? Oh, I'm tripping. I'm talking about the pomegranate, and I'm not showing you what it looks like.
2 Kings 25:17.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Hold on. Let me close all these windows so that I could just pull this up nice and easy. Like, go ahead and read. Go ahead. So I can.
This is the book of 2 Kings, chapter 25, verse 17. The height of the one pillar was 18 cubits, and the chapter upon it was brass.
Yep.
And the height of the chapter was cubits.
And
the reaping work and pomegranate upon the chapter round about all of brass.
Ooh. So
and
look.
Light,
oh, go ahead. Read that finish out.
And like unto these had the second pillar with reading work.
So reed work brass pomegranates. Now, can everybody see this on the screen?
Con.
This is a budded pomegranate. They would put something like this, well, the symbol of this, not the actual pomegranate. That would not work. But they would put this as like, in a non-real fruit form on the hem of their garment, looking just like that with the 6 points, right? To represent the star. When you're looking at it from above you, looks like this, right? Looks just like the quote unquote shield of David or star of David, right? We call it a shield because it's the seal. It's really the seal of David. Why do you call what did they put on a shield for a warrior? They put the seal of whatever kingdom he represents. So we call it the shield of David because it's technically what's going to go on our shield, right? It's the seal of Israel. So that's what that is, right? Budded pomegranate. So let's leave that up there and get Second Chronicles 3:16.
Con.
Yeah, Khan, no problem. I got a couple more scriptures for you, and then we're gonna be finished.
Said 3 and 16.
Yeah, 3:16.
All right.
Who said he has 7 points? It's technically 7 points if you look at the middle, right? Here, let me put that up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But go ahead.
Con. This is the book of Second Chronicles, chapter 3, verse 15. And he made before the house 2 pillars of 30 and 5 cubits high.
Mm-hmm.
And the chapiter that was on the top of each of them was 5 cubits.
Mm-hmm.
And he made chains as in the oracle and put them on the heads of the pillars, and made 100 pomegranates and put them on the chains.
Right. Made 100 pomegranates and put them on the chains, right? So just like I got a pomegranate on my chain, they put a bunch of pomegranates on the chains and decorated the temple with it, right? Put them on the pillars of the temple. Now our temple is destroyed, so we are the pillars, right? Trying to rebuild the temple, right? As the body of Yahushua, understand? So we put the chains with the pomegranate on ourselves. You feel? So, Song of Solomon 6 and 11. Last pomegranate scripture. Then we gonna get the lily, and we gonna be about it, chill. No, we ain't got no questions about the mayor. Just go ahead and read that when you got it. Song of Solomon 6 and 11. So like, actually, it's gonna be 2 scriptures. It's gonna be 2 in Song of Solomon.
Song of Solomon, chapter 6, verse 11.
Oh, Salaki. And Lady Tech also, like if you look at the menorah got 7 points, but it got 6, like 3 on the outside, 3 on the left, 3 on the right, and it got 1 in the middle, right? It's technically the same thing with this, right? Got 3 here, 3 there, 1 in the middle. So anyway, go ahead, continue.
This is Song of Solomon, chapter 6, verse 11. I went down into the garden of nuts to see the fruit of the valley, and to see whether the vine flourished and the pomegranates budded.
Mm-hmm. So budded pomegranates, right? Solomon is going outside to see where the pomegranates bud. He wants to see the pomegranates in this exact form right here, right? Go ahead.
Or ever I was aware, my soul made me like the chariots of Amin Nadib.
Oh, that's it. Jump to 7 and 12.
Khan.
7 and 12.
Song of Solomon, chapter 7, verse 12.
Uh-huh.
Let us get up early to the vineyards.
Mm-hmm.
Let us see if the vine flourished, whether the tender grape appear, and the pomegranates bud forth.
Right.
Here will I give thee my loves.
Mm-hmm. Now get Second Esdras 5 and 24 so we can end it. But that is the pomegranate, right? So this is a symbol of the pomegranate, right? Now it also symbolizes something that looks very similar to it. The lily flower. flower. Damn. Let me. Alright. So we have the lily, right? See it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All day. You understand? So, I mean, that's the lily. Go ahead and read that. Second Esdras 5:24.
This is the book of Second Esdras, chapter 5, verse 24. And of all the lands of the whole world, thou hast chosen thee one pit.
So of all the lands of the whole world, he chose Jerusalem, one pit on the planet, right? One place to call his name, to call his own, Jerusalem, right? Yara Shalom. Go ahead.
And of all the flowers thereof, one lily.
Of all the flowers thereof, one lily, right? So all the flowers of the earth, he liked this one. The one lily with 6 points. There it is. Beautiful flower. Most High's favorite. And it also, ironically, could be the representation of the lily flower or the pomegranate or the seal of Israel. Okay? I got one more picture I think I want to show y'all and then we will be finished. Let's see. But anybody got any questions about that? About the lily, the pomegranate, or the seal? Hold up, y'all. Let me find the picture. Here we go. Alright, let me wait for it to load. I want to show y'all this picture from the temple so y'all can see that we most definitely did have these symbols. Because there's also a misconception that we're not supposed to use this symbol because it comes from the white man. That's a lie. Big fat lie. Ooh. Hold up. All right. So this is a menorah. All right. This is, I forget what this is called, but this is supposed to represent the lily. Right. Let me show you another one. It's hard to see, but this is supposed to be the budded pomegranate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? All the way down the pillar. This is on the pillar, right? Just like it talked about in the scripture. There's another stone. These are hard for y'all to see, but they're on there. They got the lily and the pomegranate. I don't have a better picture of that one. But yeah, so, that's just picture proof that it was something that we used. All right. So that's the lesson. Also, the 7-pointed Sumerian star plus the 8-pointed Wiccan chaos wheels. Those are the 3 evil stars that being spoken of in Amos. All 3 of the stars are always associated with something. Well, again, no. The sun itself is a star and it's circular. So, what are the figures we know today as stars? Maybe they're the real stars of Molech. All right. So again, milk deliverers of Israel. You must have came late, but star, the word for star in Acts 7, in 37 or 32, whatever verse it is, right, where it talks about the star of Molech, is the same word for star that it talks about in Numbers 24:17, where it's talking about Yahushua. So if the star that you're talking about is a star that's illegal according to the Bible, then that means Yahweh Shai is a star we're not supposed to be following because it's the same word. So that obviously means you and whoever gave you that understanding don't understand what it means because you didn't break it through the Hebrew, which is the exact reason why the camps that have this false understanding of the shield of David or the seal of David, and they think it's the star of Molech or Remphron, they think that because they don't go through the Hebrew to dissect the words. You understand what I'm saying? So we told you that it means figurehead or celebrity, and that a star cannot be something with points on it. So this cannot be the star of Molech or Remphron because it has points on it. According to Wisdom of Solomon, a star is a circle. So a star would only be this part. You feel what I'm saying? In the middle of my seal. But that's not what it is. It's got 6 points because these 6 points represent or are the same 6 points that are seen on the pomegranate, the same 6 points that are seen on the lily. That's what it's representing. This is the bud of the pomegranate or the flower buds of the lily, right? Hence why Solomon said in 2 scriptures that he's trying to go see where the pomegranates bud, because that's how we had them. We had budded pomegranates if you were a Levite on the bottom of your garment right next to your fringes. Bell in a pomegranate, fringe in a pomegranate. That's how it was. So, yeah, we definitely can wear this, right? We don't do 8 point stars or whatever because, or 5 point stars. Those ain't got nothing to do with the Most High. He didn't choose the 5 pointed lily or the 8 pointed lily or the 7 pointed lily. He chose one lily and it was the one with 6 points. The same amount of points as the budded pomegranate, right? So that's that. Um, yeah. So hope this is edifying to y'all. Don't ever say that we can't wear locks again, because there's no law that says thou shalt not wear locks. So, Lady Tech, you're gonna have to watch the video because I'm not repeating myself no more after this. I already answered if locks are lawful and sacred to God, if that's what you want to call it. But so that's that. Hope y'all enjoyed the lesson, man. Don't say that we can't wear the locks no more because they aren't or isn't a scripture that says that thou shalt not wear locks, right? I'm not saying you can't wear cornrows. There's no scripture that says thou shalt not wear cornrows. So we need to just wear our hair, right? Make sure it got no blonde in it. You understand what I'm saying? Don't be shaving your heads, marring the corners of your beard, you know what I'm saying? Making baldness on your head. Don't do none of that stuff. Israel is real. I will add zeets to the lesson I do. Judah, we can add that to the pastor lesson. We'll add ZZ to the pastor lesson because pastors don't like ZZs, right? Well, I got you, Israel. So with that, I'm Brother All,
Soldier Judah.
and we are the sons of thunder Israelites. It is our prayer and hopes desire to the Most High that all Israel be saved. Esau and all the heathen can get away, and they will be saved to be slaves in the kingdom of heaven. Right?
That's right.
By the blood of Jesus. All right. Shalom.
Shalom.